Hey there guys, Jason from RE/MAX Real Estate Center here. It's the middle of February now, so I thought it would be a good time to start looking a little bit more deeply at the stats that came out for January 2018. January 2018 has been an exciting month. Actually, not so much. We saw some changes to interest rates, to the mortgage stress test, and to the supply on the market. This year, 2018, we saw around 270 transactions, and that's really low even compared to the 327 that we had last January. So winter season's here. People don't really want to go out looking around. Houses don't show very well, so potential sellers will often find themselves waiting. And with supply so low, it's been hard for us to see the real impact of the interest changes because we're still seeing multiple offer situations come up due to the very, very low supply. Overall, the average price for a home in Kitchener-Waterloo is now jumped up to almost $460. Sitting at $458. It's up around 9% from where we were last January. Last year they were sitting around $420, and like I said, now we're up to around $460. As is almost always the case, we're seeing detached homes as the most valuable asset on the market, averaging right now around $550, followed by semis and townhouses, sometimes interchangeable, sometimes filling a similar need in the market. At this time, semi-detached we're seeing at around $390 at the average, and townhouses as a whole at around $370. Apartment-style condos are sitting on the lower end of the spectrum, as they generally do, averaging $245,000. Just to give some context about what it means to not have a lot of supply on the market right now, we are sitting at around 590 active listings on the KWMLS system, and that is down from the mid 800s where we were in the fall. What this lower listing count means is that we're seeing a lot of buyers come in, or buyers from out of town, who are not also contributing a listing to our market. What we really need to see, in my opinion, is the true impact of the mortgage changes that have come into play. I think they've been a little overshadowed due to the very, very low supply, and as soon as something nice hits the market, we're still seeing properties get 20 or 30 offers on them, not nearly as frequently as last year. But as the supply starts to fill up in the spring, which is what we usually see, we'll really start to see the impact, especially in those lower price ranges. Overall, I think there are a few points that are worth taking away here. First, with the lower supply on the market, now is a really good time to think about selling your property if you don't think it's going to be the most competitive on the showing side. So if there is a little bit of work to do with your home, it's a little outdated, and it might not stand up very well with the very nicely finished supply that's going to be hitting the market come the spring, now is often a pretty good time to list those homes. If it has good bones, needs a facelift, and you are not interested in doing that, now could be a really good time. The second big thing, if you are interested in buying, now is the type of market where you should be setting yourself up, getting your finances reevaluated if you haven't yet in 2018, and start getting the proper plan in place, because for you as a buyer in this market, there's a big difference right now between properties that need a lot of love and properties that are ready to go. Some properties we're seeing sit on the market for 2 or 3 months now, and others are, like I said, 20 or 30 offers at a time. And for you as a buyer to give yourself the best chance, you need to have your processes in place so that you can take advantage of any opportunity that comes up. On the whole, January 2018 was not a very exciting month for real estate. No huge booms, not a lot in the way of dips. If anything, we're seeing more properties sit on the market for a bit longer, which, yeah, opens the door for more negotiations, but we're not seeing a lot of very significant drops, 10 or 15% drops in negotiations. People are getting 95, 97% of their asking price, even if it gets into negotiations a lot of the time. The first 2 weeks of February, we've already seen an increase in the number of listings that are hitting the market. They're coming a little more steadily, and this is what we look forward to in the spring. Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been the January 2018 KW Stats Update and a couple of my thoughts on the market. I hope it's been insightful. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions at all. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good week.